Take a look at the electronics in my homemade CNC. I salvaged a computer case and took all the guts out of it except for the power supply. I'm not using the power supply at the moment. I'm using this 12 volt, or 24 volt power supply because I can vary the voltage and it's very, very predictable with the outcome. On this side of the box you can see I have my Arduino. I use the onboard power as well as the USB connection when I'm using the CNC. On this side the motor wires come into the chassis of the computer case here, and then I hand off to these drivers. These are the 6560 drivers. After much trial, I decided not to use the one that piggybacks onto the shield and has the smaller drivers. I wasn't able to get consistent results using the potentiometers that are on board. I'm very happy with these drivers. They have dip settings that I can configure, and a nice heatsink on the bottom, and they work very well. So all of the input wires from the Arduino to the drivers come off this side here. These two wires come off of the 5 volt pin and the ground, and I've got them wired into this 5 volt relay, and it's going to power the on-off function of the plasma torch. I've got it so that it clicks, so when I use the M3 command in Gerbil, it does trigger on and shuts off at the M5, but I haven't taken the time to go through and edit G-code since I got the new plasma cutter, the Lotus Cut 60D. I'm still tooling around with that and some other stuff here in the garage. I use this breadboard to break out the power and distribute it to the shields from the power supply, and this breadboard is just wired temporarily to this power supply. This is a 5 volt power supply that I harvested from a cell phone charger. Unfortunately, it only delivers 4.97 volts DC, and this little relay down here requires 5 to trigger. So I was doing some experimentation over the last couple of days trying to get it to work, this charger to work, triggering a relay, but it just didn't have enough voltage. It was just short. I left it here because I've got a lot of things coming up. I want to put some LED lights or something in here. So right now it's just wired to this breadboard, but I've got it kind of cable strapped off here. That's really the components here. I put in a cutoff switch so that it's got emergency stop here on the outside, just in case I run afoul of something. This is the fan that was in the case. I left it in, and it turns on when I power up the power supply, and I put in a smaller fan over on this side, and it's wired to a switch here on the outside, so that if I do need to have it, I can have it. My plan is that I'll have the cover on this when I'm doing most of the runs and things like that, so I don't want to have any kind of heat problems. And then of course the power supply that was with the chassis I left here in case I need to have some power for another component or something. I'll go into a little more detail about how everything's connected in another video, but this is an overview of the case. This is my homemade CNC. I run routers, and just started being able to run plasma. So I've got another video linked up. I'll put the link below for the plasma run. My Batman's cutout went very well. I was very pleased with that. And over the next couple of days, I'm going to be running some stuff with the Gerbil code to use the relay to control the plasma trigger.